So, as you all know, that I like to take some excerpts from certain books or certain references, and I like to explain things about it. And this is because, like, I'm sort of a writer. I like to do things, like I like to express my feelings through the form of words, and I like to, like make a grand gesture out of everything I do. I'm just this way. But this is a book named Becoming Supernatural, and this is written by Dr. Joe Dispenza. So he's talking about melatonin, the dreaming neurotransmitter. So let me just read it out and maybe just explain things a bit according to my perspective, according to my experience. I have 15 minutes because after that I have a meeting. Okay. So when you wake up in the morning and return to the world of senses, the moment your eye perceives light through your iris, receptors in the optic nerve sends a signal to the part of your brain called as suprachiasmatic nucleus. It then sends a signal to the pineal gland, which responds by making serotonin, the daytime neurotransmitter. As you will recall, neurotransmitters are chemical messengers that transmit and communicate information between nerve cells. So the neurotransmitter serotonin tells your body it's time to wake up and start your day. As you integrate information between all your senses in order to create meanings between your inner and outer world, serotonin stimulates your brain waves from delta to theta to alpha to beta, causing you to once again realize you are in a physical body in space and time. Thus, when your brain is firing in beta brain waves, you put much of your attention on your outer environment, your body and time. As night falls and it gets dark, a similar but inverse process occurs. The inhibition of light sends a signal along the same route back to the pineal gland, but now the pineal gland transmutes serotonin into melatonin, the nighttime neurotransmitter. So, the production and the release of melatonin slows down your brain waves from beta to alpha, making you sleepy, tired, and less likely to think or to analyze. As your brain waves slow down to alpha, you become more interested in returning your attention to your inner world rather than your outer world. Eventually, as your body falls asleep and you go into catatonic state, your brain waves move from alpha to beta to delta, thus inducing periods of dreaming as well as deep restorative sleep. By living within the rhythm of your external environment within this diurnal pattern of wakefulness and sleep, based on where we live in the world, our brain becomes automatically entrained to the daily production of these chemicals at very specific times in the morning and evening. This is called circadian rhythm. Most of us know that when we move out of this natural rhythm, we become out of sorts, such as when we travel to another part of the world where the sun rises and sets several hours ahead of a normal time zone. This is jet lag. So basically what it's saying, you see that there are two types of hormones, right? One is the melatonin and the other is the serotonin. And as much as I know, serotonin is one of those hormones which makes you feel excited about things, and melatonin is the sleeping hormone. Let me just check so that I can actually clarify, because I'm not much into these kinds of researching more about hormones and stuffs like that, but let me do it for my audience. What is melatonin? Melatonin is used to treat delayed sleep phase and circadian rhythm sleep disorders in the blind and provide some insomnia relief. So basically melatonin is something which you need for producing sleep, and serotonin, as much as I know, it's a neurotransmitter and hormone that plays a crucial role in various bodily functions. It influences mood, sleep, appetite, digestion, and even blood clotting. Most serotonin is found in the gut, with the remainder in the brain and platelets. It's called as the happy chemical. Okay, so that's the thing. So when you get up, your body instructs your nerves that it's light and you need to get up and do things, and you start analyzing things. But just as you close down your lights and everything, that's why it's said that when you're about to sleep, for the first before you're sleeping, at least close down all electronic equipments 30 minutes. Like, even when I do certain meditations or something like that, I'm not much into my sleep schedule is very fucked up. But when I used to do it properly, so what I did was I used to do these rampages, or sometimes not rampages, I would do these meditation kind of thing, because at night you should not do rampages because it would be fast and things like that. Or else you can do it if it is okay for you, like 1 hour before also you can do it, and later on you can fall asleep. But I mostly would recommend you go to a meditation and try to fall asleep. But if you're okay with rampages, I'm fine with that too. So that's the thing. So mostly I do all these kinds of I do these things too, because before sleep you should not be doing something which stimulates you or which makes you too excited for other things, because what happens is that if your nervous system is tired, it will fall asleep at that point of time. But if you are doing something which is hampering your sleep cycle, that would actually not put you to sleep. So that's why they say that whenever you're falling asleep, you should not be thinking about something which tenses you, because you will go into that analyzing mode, and that analyzing mode will put your brain into work, and then you cannot fall asleep. So that's what it is saying. So by living within the rhythm of the external environment, within the diurnal pattern of wakefulness and sleep, our brain becomes automatically entering to the daily production of these chemicals at very specific times. So suppose today if you are sleeping at 2:30, every 2:30 you will fall asleep. Why? Because your body is used to that. So this is called the circadian rhythm. I'm so sorry for the spell. Most of us know that when we move out of this natural rhythm, we become out of sorts, such as when we travel to another part of the world where the sun rises and sets several hours ahead of our normal time zone. This is jet lag, and we need some time to recalibrate. So when the body gets out of its natural circadian rhythm, it will usually take few days to readjust to the new environment rhythm of sunrise and sunset. This is all chemistry produced from our interaction with our external three-dimensional world, from our eyes, reaction to the sun, and the frequency of visible light. Melatonin includes rapid eye movement sleep, a phase of circadian rhythm that causes dreaming. As the thoughts and chatter in your head diminish, giving way to sleep and eventually the dreaming state, the brain begins to internally see and perceive in images, pictures, and symbols. But before we get into why melatonin is so important, let's take a closer look at the molecular structure of dreaming neurotransmitter. So the process of creating melatonin starts with the essential amino acid L-tryptophan. Okay, so I used to have tryptophan because I had a lot of panic attacks at a certain point of time. Now it has reduced quite a lot, because I have I believe in myself, I believe in God, I believe in manifestation. But there was a time when I was too much into the 3D, and that's when it used to trigger me a lot. So the raw materials responsible for making serotonin and melatonin, and also not just it's not about SP I'm talking about. There were a lot of things I was going through, so it would be wrong for anyone to assume that it's my SP who actually gave me panic attacks, because my SP had once concluded this, which was totally wrong. Anyway, so to be converted into melatonin, it must pass through a series of chemical changes such as methylation. Methylation is the process of making a single carbon and 3 hydrogens into countless critical functions throughout your body. So we see methylene in action because the methyl group is made up of very stable chemicals. The basic structure of 5 and 6 rings stay the same. Okay. So basically, when the body is trying to rest in its vigilant state, it never gets the restorative sleep it needs, because the survival chemical like cortisol is not a saber-toothed tiger, but instead your strained relationship with someone whom you must interact with daily. The chronic stress keeps the survival system activated. Suppose, for example, if you have some stress going on between you and your immediate family member, and that can keep you alive. For me, it's not about that. It sometimes impacts when I've not solved any fight and I've gone to sleep, but mostly it will happen when I'm too, yesterday I just got up all of a sudden. I tried to sleep. After 1 hour I just got up and I was like, I want to be with my SP. I'm so tensed about us. So that was that thought made me from sleepy to awake. So that's when your brain started analyzing things. Okay, how will this happen when you get too much into the 3D? So, but if you lower the levels of cortisol, melatonin levels will increase. So how can you do this? You can do meditation. That's what Joe Dispenza always says, that do these meditations. make it a hard and fast rule that you come back to this meditation each and every day, because that will calm down your system, that will take away your cortisol. So I read a story here in this book of Joe Dispenza only. One lady who loses her husband through some accident or no, not accident, suicide, and her whole identity becomes someone who has lost her husband due to suicide. Her whole identity, and then she becomes so critically ill. She gets diagnosed with cancer. She's having food with some pipes and stuff like that. So that's when your whole identity goes into the negative things, and you attract more the negative things. So then she changed up her whole life by doing these certain meditations, and then she was eventually healed, and she got married to someone. She fell in love with someone. She fell in love with someone, and then she got married to that person later on. So that's how easy it could be if you could just find some time at the end of the day for doing these types of things. Now, scientific facts about melatonin: stop the excess secretion of cortisol in response to stress. So how can you do this? You can do meditations before you end the day. You can improve your metabolism. You lower your triglyceride level, because that is also one of the reasons why you can't fall asleep. So basically avoid fatty foods as much as you can. For cravings, you have to have it. I cannot handle it. So inhibit so once the things about melatonin is that it will inhibit your hardening of the arteries. It will heighten the immune system, decreases the development of certain tumors, and it will increase your REM sleep, that is the dream sleep, and it will obviously relax your body. So once your body is relaxed, so everything is just a reaction of stress. So once you relax yourself, you will be able to relax everything in your life. That's what I feel. So melatonin has many other interesting applications. For example, it has been proved to improve carbohydrate metabolism. This is important, because when certain people respond to stress, the body takes carbohydrates and stores them as fat. So basically, when you are giving a reaction to some certain kind of stress, it will actually produce more carbohydrate in your body, and that will produce fat. That's why people, when they are stressed, they become fat. And fat is nothing than stored energy. So this is the result of primitive genes signaling the body to store energy in case there is famine. Melatonin has also been known to help with depression. It's been proven to increase levels of DHEA, the anti-aging hormone. No more facts than importance of melatonin. Now let's just deepen understand. Okay. So this I will again be making certain other video, which would be more on how to calm your nervous system down, and maybe how your bodily systems affect your whole confidence, your ability to handle stress, your ability to attract the reality you want faster. Why? Because if you don't feel safe in your body, you will be reactive towards everything. So today also, I didn't sleep last night, and few people in my department were getting on my nerves. Somebody spoke in a rude tone, and I also spoke to them in a rude tone in order to defend myself, and that created a huge fight. And then somebody had to come and barge in and try to sort it out. It was like I felt like I wasn't even shouting at this person for anything at all, and this person took it very negatively and started writing mails on it. So these things happen. But for me, if you tell me be accountable for your mistakes, I would say that I was not accountable for myself, because I lost my temper. But it was necessary to defend myself, but I could have done it in a different way. But to be honest, I was very polite even when I defended myself. But defending is something which is which always, when you defend yourself, it's always she's defending herself and she's fighting for herself. So it would some or the other way come off as assertive and strong, and you can't do anything about it. But all I'm saying is, you need to sleep properly. You need to take care of your body in order to be relaxed. That's all my message is, and I hope this video helps you.